record on your thing.
Okay. Should I start counting? Do you want to count down?
Yeah, I'll count down. Okay, we're gonna say okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. You're gonna count with me?
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it! I thought you were like after 3. Oh, damn it. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
Okay, no, you have to okay. It's like
We'll
okay, oh, I see what you mean. I see.
Yeah, we have to count. We have to
Okay,
count at the same time. That way we know what
okay,
the sync is.
sorry, you're right. Okay, I got
Okay.
confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so ready?
Okay, yeah. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, I hope this works.
That would be embarrassing if people were watching that.
Yeah, I think I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I'm pretty sure that was embarrassing.
Oh man. So
yeah. Oh, you have to do the welcome thing. You have to do
let me do the welcome thing. So
ready?
Welcome everybody to the 14th episode of Tech Laundry. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tertius.
And we're back after about 2-week hiatus.
2 weeks, man.
2 weeks, man.
Long time.
A lot of stuff happens in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like you moved, right?
I did, yeah. Like I moved for one, so I graduated and I moved back home. That's why my bed's so tiny. It's why it's like so unkempt in this entire room. I'm wearing a
okay. That's why. That's why it's messy there.
It's messy. Yeah, it's totally why it's messy. It's it's just because I graduated. I don't care about anything anymore.
Okay.
I did
you know
job.
how I know you moved away? I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's
like
a shocking
literally,
long time.
I've been wearing workout clothes all the time now. Like
that's what I do all the time.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, I have to because there's nothing. Yeah. So how was the move, man?
Move was intense. I had a lot more stuff than I thought I did, and I took 3 cars.
3 cars?
3 cars worth of stuff.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
It's real. Moving sucks, but also I'm kind of glad because I gotta get rid of a lot of stuff because I had like furniture. I had like stuff I was just trying to give away, and
I saw that. It's too bad all of your furniture was ugly though.
Yeah, it's college furniture, but
it looked like you just picked those up from like the sidewalk.
I left them on the sidewalk as I found them after I left. It's like no one wanted to take them, so I was like, well, I'll leave this by the trash can, and whatever happens, happens. That actually happened with I left a Rock Band like old drum set, and like everything was like there. Like they had the microphone, had the drum set, I had the guitar.
Didn't put it on Craigslist?
Didn't care. But I literally like a few hours passed. I turn around, it's gone. Someone took it.
It's called they were thrown away.
No. The trash was still there. Like it was literally just gone within hours. It was crazy. Yeah. It's like Craigslist, except you don't have to do anything. Yeah.
That's stupid. Anyways.
But yeah, so I moved back in and just kind of try to get situated to try to figure out how we're going to do the show, considering that we're now about 3 hours apart driving wise.
Yeah.
So I'm recording it on my end. Tertius is recording on his end, and we're also broadcasting this on Google Hangouts using On Air.
Yeah.
Much cooler than I thought it was. Interface.
Yeah, I mean, like there's like a lot of using it is kind of tough to figure out. It's not very intuitive at all, but there's a lot of pretty cool features.
Yeah, you can draw mustaches on yourself and like have it fall on your face.
It's kind of stupid. Like, anyways. On my end of things, I actually sorry for the plug, but I started a new bi-monthly column for the Chico Enterprise Record called Locally Sourced. So I'll send out a link to that one on Twitter, and you guys should check it out because I really want that thing to be like one of those top viewed things of the day. It would be really sexy if that was the thing.
If I remember correctly, you also had like you started a photo gallery project.
Oh yeah. I actually I'm doing an experiment with a bunch of photographs I took over the summer. I'm selling a bunch of prints. I sold actually a few prints. It's pretty cool. So it's just like kind of like just like dipping my toes into like selling art. You know. Like seeing how that goes. Like I'm using Society 6, so just look me up on there, Tertius Buffete. You know, just like
I remember
some pictures of stuff.
We had a few friends that were into the stock footage thing, and they are actually all like, some people are actually making good money off of selling their stock footage, and like it's a comfortable small income. It's not like 100%, but it's good supplemental stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like that's definitely supplemental. I don't think I'm talented enough or have enough, depth in my portfolio to be able to use that as like my
Oh,
main money
don't flatter
source.
yourself. Flattering yourself too hard. Uh, but you check it out. We'll throw it up in the show notes at the end of the show when I publish
Cool,
this,
cool.
hopefully later. But speaking of publishing, we'll also have like the audio version, but we also have the video version, which I
Yeah.
guess is a thing. I don't have it set up to like cast my desktop, or I don't have anything like fancy, so I'm not really gonna do much of that right
Wouldn't
now.
it save automatically to like YouTube?
It would, but like if I wanted to like show my desktop, like this is what the new things are, like you want to like watch a video of something we were talking about, like things like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it'll get more complicated as you go along, but for now it's kind of pretty bare bones. We haven't really experimented with it, so bear with us. So definitely, if you want to check out our back catalog of stuff before our 2-week hiatus, go to techlaundrypodcast.com.
Most definitely techlaundrypodcast.com, guys.
All right, cool. Let's jump right into it, I
So
guess.
let's jump into it. So we have like 3 different topics today.
Pretty good ones. Like there's a lot of lots of things have happened the past 2 weeks, but we narrowed it down to like our top 3 favorite things to talk about.
I think that's pretty interesting.
What do you want to talk about first, Jeff?
So I want
I'll
to
leave
talk
it up
about
to you.
So Uber, if you guys don't know, is the rideshare company where
Yeah, fake taxi.
fake taxi service.
Taxi. It's not taxi service. It's a ride share. It's like you're gonna go with people to like, because they're actually going somewhere else.
Yeah, because they're just gonna go where you were gonna go anyways.
Yeah.
So it's the idea that you have this app on your phone and you need to get from point A to point B just like you would for a taxi. So you click the app, you drop a pin where you are, someone just magically in 5 minutes or less comes by, picks you up, drives you to where you need to go, drops you off. You don't have to exchange money because it's already accounted for, the distance. You can have like bigger cars, smaller cars. You can have lots of different options for how you want to get to somewhere. And it's great. Like I use it often when I'm in the city because I hate city driving. So oftentimes I'll just BART into somewhere and then take an Uber to wherever I need to go. It costs a couple bucks depending how far you want to go.
Yeah, my first experience with Uber was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when I was in New York, and the convention was like, "Oh, you guys should try like Uber or something." So I was running around using the metro system there, and it was really late. So I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to like the kind of shadier metro spots." So I ended up taking an Uber from a station to like my hotel, and it was like it's weird because it's really easy to use, like incredibly intuitive, very obvious what they want, like how to operate it, and weirdly cheap, like really weirdly cheap. Like I remember I used to avoid taxis because I remember in the back of my head it's always like, dude, it's gonna be really expensive if you do this. So I always avoided that. But yeah, with this it seems so cheap. Like, did you have the experience? Like, it always just seems like cheap to me.
Yeah, no, my first experience was definitely kind of magical because I was like, wow, this actually works. Someone came, and they didn't rob me or anything crazy happen.
Yeah.
It was a nice car. Like they were very courteous and like professional, opened the door for me and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sometimes they have mints and water.
Yeah, they have like things like that. They're really just nice. It's very pleasant because usually taxis are just kind of and it's just so interesting how much it's like just opened up this whole new market that we didn't know we wanted, I guess. It also it's opening up this idea that you can kind of work. You don't have to have a traditional job in a certain area. You can now just work. You have these apps. There's different apps that do this where you can just start working whenever you want. So the people who are Uber drivers are actually just normal drivers who have opted into the program. And
I mean, they have like certain you have to have a certain like model car. Like it has to be like pretty new, like 5 years old or something.
Yeah, it's like 2002 or 3 something. I can't remember the exact year, but you have to have like there's certain specifications for what kind of car you have to have for this to get into this program. But once you're in, you can basically just turn on the app and say I'm a driver, and then it just sends you a customer whenever they're nearby, and you just make money that way.
Yeah, I've ridden with people. And I've asked them like how the living was. They were like, yeah, no, it feels like a regular job, but I can do it whenever I want. Like it's available like at night, like late at night, because people do need taxis at nighttime, like mostly. So it's a pretty good supplemental income thing, but it has been running into a lot of problems, like in terms of legislation, especially like internationally and all that, because there's no background checks. That was the thing. It's like, one, you have like people, like user reviews reviewing people, but then there's no real background checks. So it's kind of that's the sketchy part of it. I mean, it's all like clean and polished on the outside, but it's kind of skeevy on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. And going back to that point about rates do change. Like if you taxi at night, there's a whole thing where like at certain times where there's lots of people using the app, the rates not exponentially, but they just go up by a certain multiplier.
It gets ridiculous. Like I've seen stories about people like having to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for like a simple 10-minute ride because like it's like a surge pricing. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Like especially when there's a lot of people like hailing cabs or like Ubers. It's like, oh, so it's kind of those things that if it's a ride-sharing service, why would there be a surge charge?
It's to balance out the whole thing.
No. I know I know like the economics of it, but like the idea, we're a ride-sharing service, not a taxi service. But if you're if you're just a ride-sharing, like why would it affect other people? Like some folks, it's like, no, you're really not. You're definitely cabs is what you are.
But I also don't want this service to go away just because that's you know what I mean? Like
no, what's it called? When I was in LA, I was actually using Lyft a lot. It was weird. I just kept using Lyft. Like I had like an invite code. I got like $10 off here, and then like, $10 off your first ride. They really get you on that, and that lets you, like, really pushes you to realize, holy crap, the service is so cheap. Like, yeah, it's nuts. It's really, really nuts. Anyways, part of this, what's the big news?
So the big news and why it's brought up is that supposedly, Uber is going to get an investment from Microsoft for $100 million, which is not a small amount of money. And it kind of just really shows exactly how important the service is, and that it's not going away. Because some people thought that maybe Uber would get shut down by legal issues in a few cities, because Uber can't operate everywhere. They have to like figure it out city by city how it's going to work.
I know like some countries have outright banned it and all that, and you know.
And I feel like it's so backwards to ban it. Like I feel like they need to embrace it or rework the system, because the way taxis worked before was like completely ridiculous. So.
Well, I mean, I understand there are kind of like safety issues. I mean, you've heard reports of like, like people getting raped and stuff like during that because there are no background checks. But, it's like, it's one of those things that it comes with the territory in terms of any kind of, service or whatever.
Yeah, a new thing. And it doesn't mean necessarily that Uber's causing those things. I mean, who knows what happens with like, taxi drivers. It's just
because the thing is, we have just this huge spotlight on Uber now. Like how many like rapes are actually committed in like just taxis and stuff. It's weird, right?
Yeah, it definitely, and people are kind of trying to like cause some fun around it, but
yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I really do like the service. There's a few other ones that do it, like Lyft, Uber. Is there a third one? There might be a third one. I'm not quite sure.
There's another one. Yeah, it's like the smallest one that no one really talks about. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah. This company that came out of nowhere is worth $50 billion. Like they're valued at $50 billion.
Yeah,
it's insane.
That seems crazy to me because I was just like, that's a lot of money coming out of nowhere, and like
it took Apple and Microsoft forever to be worth that much. Like forever.
Are they public? They're not public yet, right? They're just a private company.
No, they're not. I don't think they're public yet because they don't have. Yeah, I don't think they have their stuff yet. So no, not yet. But yeah, it's huge. Like I don't know what the future is, but like I've always kind of imagined the future to have like no one owns cars anymore. We just have Ubers, but they're like Google cars.
Yeah, I think
thought that was like gonna be the future,
and it probably will. It's the ultimate future. Like
the ultimate future.
The ultimate future is going to be that what Google has right now, what they're developing, is going to be the thing. But as of right now, what you can like Lyft is still like it's human powered, so therefore there's money going in and out. You're employing people. There's a human factor that people like about it, because I don't think, as much as I want robots to drive my car, I think it's going to take some time for people to warm up to that idea. So Lyft is like,
which is weird because when you think about it, robots will save so many lives in terms of like all the car accidents that we have nowadays. It's just forever were just just cars. Just all like human error is always like the issue. When you remove that factor out of it, what there'll be one accident per like month. It'll be amazing.
It'll be and it'll be really interesting how insurance is going to handle that.
Yeah.
Because that will be
Robot hit me, Jeff.
Yeah, a robot
hit me.
Who's at fault? The robot or you? I'm like, I don't know. What is he programmed to do?
It's probably you.
It's probably the human.
It's probably human. Like.
But I thought that was
because robots have cameras and shit.
And they have like set rules for how things work, so you know exactly. And they have cameras too, so they can see exactly how everything's playing back in real time, with like the lidar going around on the top, so you can see in real time how like you fucked up. So anyhow, I figured that was a really interesting story.
I mean, it's just like you think about all the startups nowadays. You just like, it's weird that all this money just gets flowed into all these like tiny businesses, and over the course of maybe 3 or 4 years, they've become like gigantic explosions of companies. Look at BuzzFeed, worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. Snapchat. Remember when like Facebook tried to buy that for $2 million or something?
Yeah, something like that. And they're like, it's something even bigger than that.
It's huge. And Instagram, like stuff like that. It's just the amount of money that gets thrown at tech nowadays. It's kind of amazing.
I personally like it because, someday.
I'm all for like ingenuity. I mean, this just fuels. It's just like, I think more and more people have like a great belief in startups and all that. But I just feel like it's gonna be just like in the 90s. The internet bubble is gonna burst at some point. There's gonna be too many companies. It's gonna be a mess. So we'll see how banks and stuff handle that. But yeah, Uber, use it. It's definitely worth a use. Like if you're visiting a country, like a kind of metropolitan city for the first time, Uber's the way to go. You don't have to worry. It's like cheaper than renting a car.
It seriously is like also like magical. Like I can't get over how amazing it is that I just show up. Like it just shows up and someone picks me up, and then I'm like, and I leave. I don't have to like dealing with money and figuring how much to tip. It's all done in the app. There's no exchange.
There's no guilt really. There's no like kind of forward-facing guilt.
Oh my god, I hate. That's the one reason I actually don't get delivery to my door if I get pizza. I have to like go there and like, all right, well here, this is yours now. Yeah. It's like, all right, I gotta like figure this out. It's annoying. Sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic.
Jeff is like, I just want to interact with robots, okay? Just robots in my phone. I don't want to talk to anyone.
I don't have to deal with like weird human factors of like guilt when I'm like paying for pizza that's for myself. So, so what you have a topic that you want to bring up?
Maybe. Well, my thing is all about gadgets. Talking about the latest new phones right now. Like you guys, we got 2 new releases, like in the shadow of the release of the Galaxy Note, but that's for another time. But we've got OnePlus One successor, the like uniquely titled OnePlus 2, which is, does that mean it's phone number 3?
Are they going to keep that up for like forever? Like OnePlus 3, OnePlus 4?
I just can't, it would be funny if it like ended up being OnePlus Air, and then OnePlus Air 2.
Air Plus Air 2S.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms like everyone's into the numerals nowadays, except for Motorola. Like HTC One M9, the Samsung Galaxy S6, iPhone 6. But Moto X is like, Motorola's like, oh, it's a Moto X Pure. It's a Moto X style. It makes it's weird, right? So it's interesting. Like both high power devices, OnePlus 2 is running a 64-bit 1.8 gigahertz like CPU with like 8 freaking cores, 8
octa-core, baby.
Yeah, and a Snapdragon 810 processor. That's a phone, you guys.
I don't even know. I don't know what does it use to power. Like a game.
Yeah, games, those crazy displays, people have now. Like what is this? What do we have? A display. It's a 5.5 inch like display. Like I don't really know. It's probably like Quad HD or something or whatever, something crazy. No, it's not Quad HD. It's like,
I think it's 1080.
Is it?
I'll have to remember.
Yeah. Anyway.
But
yeah, so yeah, I mean, so those are crazy specs. That's nuts. And the Moto X is not a slouch either. It's basically the same one. It's the same 64-bit CPU with 1.8 gigahertz. It's hexa-core, which means it's 7 or 6, 6, 6. Yeah, I forgot my what are they, Roman? Are they Roman?
I don't actually remember. I don't even actually know what 7 sept.
I don't know.
Sure.
Anyways, it's the older Snapdragon 808 processor. So both flagships, both probably going to be running the latest Android, except it probably won't be M yet, right? It's probably Lollipop still. They probably won't be running like what is M going to be? I don't remember what it was.
Was it Milkshake?
Was it Milkshake or Mars bars?
Mars bars. It's going to be Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Is it Marshmallow?
I can't believe I don't remember. It's been a long time. I've been away from the internet for a while, guys. So
about this. Oh god, that's embarrassing for both of us.
Let's call Android M.
It was Android M. So they probably won't have it at launch, but seeing as these two are kind of like pretty close to stock. Well, the Moto X is, but OnePlus 2 is running. It's not Cyanogen anymore, right? It's something else. What's the software that it's using?
It's not using Cyanogen, or did they stop?
I think they stopped it. It's not it's something else now. God, what is it running?
I think you might have been right. I remember that they initially did the CyanogenMod started off as the OnePlus company to start like their own off break of it because they're tired of having to have Google be the definition for like these features or whatever not. So they did their own thing. And it's pretty close to stock Android as it is, the new CyanogenMod. They added but they keep like improved features, like you can with a drop down menu, you can like change all the quick settings and stuff.
Oxygen OS. It's Oxygen.
That's what they renamed it to.
Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's pretty close to stock Android, but it has some modifications and stuff. Typical like it's not too much. Not like freaking TouchWiz. It's close to stock Android, but it's it's still kind of modded.
Did they say did they give out price? They gave out price, right?
Yeah, I think they did. Like they're both around like the $300-$400 range. Like not super premium, I think.
It's not too bad. I mean, the thing is that's what kind of what we've come to expect.
Yeah. So
price.
The OnePlus 2 is $329 for the 16 gig version and around $400 for the 64 gig. And and then the Moto X Pure is around $400. So basically around, typical kind of Android flagship device price, Well, actually not really. If you think about it, like, the Moto X's have been really cheap and OnePlus 2 is pretty cheap too. So yeah, I think I might be wrong now. It's not too flagshipy in cost. It's cheaper.
As long as it's cheaper than the Nexus 6.
The Nexus 6?
Which is it's too expensive, is what it is.
$499? Was it $499 or something like that?
$499, $599. It was like something not cheap that was like very different. It's something very different than
something not cheap.
Supposed to be. Not to say that it's a bad phone, but it's just I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a freaking phablet, is what it is. I know the Moto X is a smaller version of the Nexus 6. It's like it has like a 5.5 or 5-inch display, so it's smaller, but it's still pretty freaking huge. So we have those new phones. It's just really interesting in terms of it's not interesting because I'm excited. It's interesting because I'm not excited. Like that's the thing. It's like when you have to always, there's just so many Android phones and they're all like released staggered, like Samsung and HTC basically released it around the same time. And then these two were released at the same time. And then like the LG G5 and the Nexuses get released at different times. Every like couple months we get a new Android phone and it feels so saturated. There's so many of them. And like an Apple, we only like,
look
get
forward
about once a year. But in Android, it's like, there's always this weird kind of buyer's remorse thing. Like, oh, should I get this phone now? But then in a couple of months, there's another one. It might be better.
That might be weird. Because we have the Apple idea of like if I buy now, like I'll wait to the next cycle. I'll have a whole year to not regret my purchase.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty sure like the Apple customer loyal thing is pretty specific to Apple. Like I know there are some like hardcore Samsung guys out there, but ever since they removed the external battery and the kind of It's like, like
SD
you
card.
can't really put in the SD card. It's not as super nerdy anymore. So-
Watching the video about the OnePlus 2, there is a bit of a hype around it because we're like, oh, this is like a new company, relatively that's kind of came out of
Relatively
nowhere.
new. It's only their second phone.
Yeah, second phone came out of nowhere, made their own OS,
Mhm.
to try and compete with all the big main flagships. And
It's
I
like invite only, so it's all like, ooh, mysterious.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
had a few fuck ups with like in terms of sorry, my phone's going off. They've had a few fuck ups in terms of publicity and how they handle certain things with like the girls first thing.
Yeah,
That was kind of like what the
that
fuck.
was weird.
But I couldn't help but I watched a few videos and I couldn't help but be a little underwhelmed by the OnePlus 2.
Yeah, I mean, they both look like great phones.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they'll work fine. It's not like they're bad.
Oh
but
yeah, you can never go wrong with a phone nowadays. It's just
yeah, it's true. And it just felt like I was expecting more, or like at least I think battery life is also a big deal, specifically for me. And I feel like
yeah.
the OnePlus 2 also didn't get. It could get through a day, but it was kind of like it wasn't fully there. And I feel like that's kind of not really.
I mean, for me, like the main thing that stuck out to me was the fact that the OnePlus 2 had a fingerprint reader, but no NFC.
That's another thing.
That's stupid, right?
Yeah, I think that's unwise of them to not have an NFC reader on it, because Android Pay is a thing now, and if you have a fingerprint ID, it works perfectly. That you just have a payment.
It seems like they should go hand in hand.
They should, and they didn't. Maybe it was just like that they didn't expect Android Pay to come out, and then they already had built this phone. They were just like,
The iPad Air 2 has NFC. That stupid giant thing has NFC, and you can use it to pay, but you can't use the OnePlus 2 to pay.
Does iPad Air 2 has NFC?
I'm pretty sure it has NFC.
Good lord, I can't wait to finally see someone bring out their iPad, like, boop, like pay it.
It's kind of like
Okay.
as stupid and cumbersome as somebody taking pictures with their iPad Air. Oh god. Oh, I had like one of my aunts used to just run around with her Galaxy Tab, just take pictures. Well, it looks ridiculous.
I don't understand that at all.
I don't either. Like you probably have a smartphone in your pocket with a better camera.
And it's obnoxious because when I'm at a concert, someone brings out like their tablet and it raises it above my face so I can like can't see in front. Yeah, I can't believe people bring that. I'm like, where did you keep that in your bag? Like, why would you bring that here?
Why would anyone let you in here with that?
And to answer the question, it is NFC equipped. So
boom,
pretty crazy, man.
I told you, dude. I watch and rewatch iPad videos because I'm so excited for my iPad Mini 4.
It's true. That's gonna be a thing
in a couple months. In September. Announced September. Release October.
Right
my birthday.
Yeah, birthday gift to yourself.
Yeah. I was gonna start a GoFundMe. It's like, hey guys, for my birthday, you can just like throw $20 at me so I can help me buy this iPad because I really want an iPad.
Let's hope they make it. Worth it. Hope they make it a better upgrade than the ones.
Oh, I'm like,
iPad Air 2 to 3.
Yeah, the iPad Air like Mini 3 was stupid. They were just,
it really was.
Oh, we have Touch ID and it comes in gold. So they definitely owe us like a pretty incremental update if the tablet market will turn around. Anyways, we're freaking flying off topic here.
Totally. So let's get to the last topic. With that said, about the Windows 10.
Windows 10.
Oh, Windows 10.
We skipped 9 and went right to 10, you guys.
Yep, we went 7, 8, 10. And I don't even think 7 was actually the 7th operating system, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure. But I'm not going to count now. So anyhow, so Windows 10 is a big deal, and it's a pleasant surprise. Not surprise, but it's pleasant. I will say that I have not updated my OS to it due to the fact that this is a production machine, and I'm currently working on it. So I feel I've heard issues that some people have instability, or they've had problems with certain apps that get uninstalled or aren't recognized properly. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that bullshit right this second. So I promised to do it because I want to do it. Currently running 8.1.
Okay. One, I hate you for that because one, my laptop I use all the time for video editing and photo editing.
Whoa, okay.
And I totally upgraded. I am at the beta, man. Like the Windows 10 is the full-on retail. They released the retail, and you didn't want to upgrade to the retail, and I'm running beta, bro. I'm running beta on my phone, so you're like first. I was about to say first responder.
First responder. 911, guys. I just don't want to.
Your early adopter cred is so taken away now, man.
I am an early adopter for some things, but for right now, that is.
You're not an early adopter for anything. You said you're gonna get like a Fitbit.
Bitcoin.
No one's using Bitcoin ever. It's dead. No one trusts it.
He's going to eat his words.
He's gonna use words. Okay, we still have 13 more years. Yeah, we have 13 years left on our bet. Our bet is in the next 15 years, or when we first made this, would Bitcoin become a universally accepted form of payment? And I laughed at Jeff's face, especially since the Mount Gox thing, however you call it. I've never heard it said out loud. I've always just read it.
Oh, you could say Mount Gox. Yeah, Mount Gox.
Is it Mount Gox? Anyway, so that thing blew up in everyone's face, and the guy's going to jail now, by the way. You see that?
Oh, yeah, good.
Going to jail.
Good. Yeah, that guy was shady as hell.
Yeah. He was in charge of that crap, and he's shady as hell, and you think Bitcoin's going to make it?
Definitely. Dude. Well, he's not like the king of Bitcoin. There was lots of other things. That was up to...
Dude, if people didn't trust Steve Jobs, there would be no Apple, okay? The whole...
They did. They kicked him out of Apple.
And look how terrible they turned out.
Oh my god, this is
proved
Windows 10
point. So Windows 10.
So anyhow,
you've used it though, right?
Yes, I have used it, and my brother is definitely all about it because. So let me list off a few reasons why Windows 10 is like.
Okay.
It's not okay. So first of all, Windows 10 is not like this. It's not supposed to be like this crazy huge upgrade. It is.
Why not?
Because it's all about UI. It's not so much about what's under the hood. That's some of it, but it's not meant to be this big deal. Like, oh my god, like you know how like when we went from like Windows Vista to Windows 7, it was like, oh, finally. So I feel like especially Microsoft's kind of going back and forth between like this. Like they went out with Windows Vista, they screwed it up. 7 was way better. Everybody stayed on it. 8, no one liked it. 8.1, people still didn't like it, and then they finally released Windows 10 to like make up for all the last 2 generations. And that's kind of how the cycle's working right now. But so like I've been using 8.1 and 8 since pretty much release, and like a lot of people don't like it. I haven't really had it affect too much of things like that. There's good benefits to using it, and I never use this anyhow because I just type in what I'm looking for, so I kind of got used to it. That being said, one of the biggest things was the UI. So they improved the UI that brought the start menu back.
It looks good.
Looks really good.
Looks really good. The start menu's back, bro. Start menu's back.
Start menu's back. It's got a little you can customize and all that jazz. It's great.
Yeah.
It's actually the UI is actually adjusted now for like high DPI screens. So one thing I didn't know this about Windows because I never had like a 4K monitor before. My brother bought a 4K monitor like last summer and he installed Windows, and you were looking at it, he's like, dude, why does it really look like shitty and like not like high resolution? There's like alias problems around like certain icons and stuff. It's just because like OS X has like already done the Retina upgrade over time and they've improved on it. So I've been so used to just like that's what I've expected, things to look sharp and crisp. But
even
with Windows,
your laptop is like 5 years old.
Even though my Windows like 5 years old and I've used other people's stuff, and my phone's Retina, so I just got used to it. But then he was right, and I was like, yeah, you're right. They haven't really gotten to the whole workflow of having things that are like Retina textures for everything.
Yeah.
And Windows 8 was kind of like not that good looking, and he built this whole new computer just to run Windows, and he was like very unhappy with it. But now with Windows 10, they've actually supported high DPI monitors, so everything kind of looks
very cool,
crisp and good. As far as I know, it's supposed to be a very smooth upgrade. You download it, takes like 15 to 20 minutes to install, and then it just does a soft reset, and then everything's just there. You don't have to like reformat anything. It just does the reset within the OS, which is nice. They supposedly like under the hood, they lessen some of the overhead for the OS, faster, smoother transitions.
In terms of like RAM usage, like instead of like just memory usage, or
those things, like just in terms of just small performance improvements on top of like tools, like things like command line now have their own package managers, like how Linux does. So if you guys are really that nerdy into command line stuff, they have their own shit.
Jeff, you cannot accuse anyone of being nerdy. Okay, you listen to K-pop. Okay.
K-pop and Linux command lines, 2 different things. But
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're the same language to me.
Well, if you're into that type of thing, I like how Linux handles all their packages. So they have one in Windows now. They've improved like the task manager. So it's just there's just small like power tools that are there. They cleaned up the interface, like how 8.1 was basically adopted to be this like tablet interface. They forced like this tile interface when you start up, and like you can change it so that it doesn't do that. Like I have it just like act like a normal computer, but they wanted to have like this tile system, and anytime you loaded up a picture, it'd load up the full screen fucking Photos app, and I'm like, God damn it, shut it, stop it, and it would automatically default all the pictures I'd open to like open up in the full screen Photos app, and I'm like, why is this even a thing? So they stopped that, and they went back to traditional and kind of basically made Windows 7 current, just basically made Windows 7 better than what it is.
It's like they took the best parts of 7 and 8 and squished them together. So somehow 8 plus 7 equals 10.
Yeah, and they did the math, and it came out to 10, so that's what they called it.
Typical Microsoft math.
Yeah, and I think...
That's how they figured out the price point. They should set the Surface Pros.
Too expensive. A little too expensive, guys.
Too expensive. What it is for a bulky, heavy machine.
The only other features there are like DirectX 12. So if you're a gamer, they'll improve performance in some games, and also some cards that are coming out, specifically Mantle for ATI. They'll be able to utilize certain aspects of the architecture of those chips, which will be great. And
have they announced what are the phones that will be capable of running Windows 10? Because I know it's like not all like current Windows 10 like phones can run it. Like that's kind of the thing. It's like you can remember we talked about how like you can plug in a Lumia phone to like a monitor and it'll run Windows.
Yes.
Like, have they announced any phones that are capable of that or powerful enough for that?
If they have,
we talked about the OnePlus 2 having like a freaking 8 core freaking processor. So have they released that information at all? Like when would we, or like whatever the next flagship Windows phone will come out? That's like the one.
I'm not quite sure yet, and I haven't read anything that made it seem like there was a flagship phone that was going to be doing that. It's probably, they said any Windows phone, so I'm assuming probably last generation plus the the current generation. Last generation, this generation, probably next one will probably support something like it. And so we talked about this in an older episode. I don't remember which conference or where it was, maybe CES or something like that. When they announced that Windows 10 was going to be their big platform for mobile, like, their mobile OS and their desktop OS, they said that they want to have it so that you can plug in your phone to a monitor and it'll just suddenly become Windows 10 for desktop, and it would just work just like an old PC, which is great. Yeah, it's actually super great because your phone's already like super powerful. Why not have it also be your laptop if you need it to be? But I do not have any information on whether or not that's a thing. They've advertised it on their site heavily that like, it'll be the same OS on anything. You can just, they all sync together. It'll work fine. Just like how OS X and iOS kind of does that thing with continuity and stuff. But yeah, I couldn't say for now. We'll have to see.
But, okay, have people been like upgrading? Like, was there hesitation? Like, how many people have upgraded? Like, I mean, like, how many machines are now running Windows 10?
Last report was 67 million PCs, and that was five days ago, which is a lot. But it's also it's still going on because they're sectioning off how many people can download. Like, there's a queue to download it. So like I just got the notification just today actually that I could download it.
That sounds stupid. Why is there a queue?
There's a queue because if you're having everybody update at once, everybody's just going to cram the queue. There's not enough bandwidth to go around. So they've like they've talked with all their bandwidth providers and said like, we want to reserve this much for this date so that people can update over the air and not have to like, go to buy it from a store or whatever. Because that's how it is now. You just you download the OS and it just works. Yeah. Which is like new age for everybody now. You have to have a CD, you have to have a USB key. You just download the file and it resets and does it. In fact, they say that Microsoft has reportedly reserved up to 40 terabytes a second from all third-party content providers combined, which is a ton. It's a ton of stuff.
I still just want to know how many people are still running XP.
You don't want to know that number because it's
I really want to know. It's like the fragmentation of PC use.
Yeah, it's all
Android when it's nuts,
because they're still using like Access 97 to like keep up their bookkeeping or whatever. I don't know.
Get down.
Yeah, it's God, it's so awful.
I really
Um,
I kind of just want, I guess I'll be like you guys. Get off XP. We'll give you a new laptop if you do.
yeah, they should do like the cars for clunkers, but for like PCs and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
Oh, that'll be so funny.
that might have to happen because like
Yeah.
XP does run a lot of stuff for businesses, and it's legacy
It
stuff
runs-
that they just don't support anymore.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if someone was like, "We'll help you get off this because it's this huge vulnerability." Like, just
Yeah.
some people I know even today who are gamers swear by XP. Like they'll buy a brand new machine and then only install XP to like play games on.
Who are these people you talk to?
They've been like hanging because like XP was like the shit back in the day. It was like
It was
ran
well,
everything.
It was like 2000 with a skin on top. That's what XP was.
And
It's
like
really nice, and had really good wallpapers.
had yeah, great wallpapers.
Great
like,
wallpapers.
Had like the green and blue
The
taskbar.
Elysian kind of like going thing. It's nice.
It was pretty sweet, but also
Yeah,
now that
that
operating system's like 20 whatever years old, not 20 years old. It's like 15 or
Yeah.
something.
I was like, that operating system's been drank now.
But the idea was that like if you installed XP, your computer would run faster because there's less overhead that's running.
Yeah,
your computer.
yeah.
And, like,
It doesn't have that much going on inside. Like,
yeah.
imagine like
just,
with your 16 gig, like computer, like your 16 like gigs some like worth of memory in your computer. Man, that would fly.
yeah, they would be like, oh, it's so much faster. But truth be told, the way it really does work is that the OS, like the XP doesn't take advantage of a lot of the new architecture of the chips that we have now today, so it actually runs slower. So I don't know. Anyhow,
Then you just contradicted yourself, didn't you? Or whoever the people who do this are.
people who do this, I didn't like.
Okay.
I stuck on XP for a while, but I jumped ship as soon as I could to like 7 or
Mhm.
even for Vista. For
Yeah,
sure.
we're using 7 in our office right now.
And like,
So-
yeah, 7's fine. People were pretty happy with 7. So,
Yeah, pretty good.
um,
I think my brother is still running 7. I don't think he wants to touch 8. I don't even know if he knows that 10 is a thing.
yeah, it's slowly. It's gonna be a slow rollout because there's a lot of Windows boxes, guys.
There's
Like
a lot.
it's so many that like
There's a lot of them, but people are not buying them anymore. That's the funny thing. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of computers out there, but they're like the Windows sales keep dropping.
yeah.
Still
And
dropping.
I think selling an OS to consumers is kind of an old idea now because
Mhm.
OS X, if you look at that, they've always done like iterations and they're free. You just download it. And it's for the benefit of everybody.
Was it since Snow Leopard or since Lion that it's been free?
I think Lion was the last one you had to buy. Snow Leopard might have been a small upgrade, might have been like $15, and after that, it started going to free. I think.
Yeah.
But that said, so Yosemite has like had 55% adoption rate of all their Macs, which is great.
Whoa.
But if you put that into perspective, there's not as many Macs as there are Windows boxes out
That's-
of pure numbers. Like,
yeah.
so like Windows 10 is now installed on like over 67 million PCs, which was 5 days ago.
Okay.
So it's probably something in like 70, 80 maybe.
Yeah.
That's only 5% of the entire like PC market. It's tiny. It's good progress, and it's probably higher than most people thought they're going to adopt it, but it's still a drop in the bucket.
That's funny, but I mean, they could like say, oh, this number is that small because we do have like kind of a staggered kind of downloading system.
Yeah, and
So-
they kind of have to do that because we just don't have the capability for everybody to download it. But
That's why we download betas first, son. So we're the first to get the final software. That's right, pansy.
I don't want to, dude. No way, man. I don't.
What?
Anybody who's worked in a production valley, I have shit tons of work. If it just like if something doesn't work and I have a deadline, that it's not worth it.
You want to talk to me about deadline, bro? I redesigned a paper today 5 minutes before deadline, and I got it in 2 minutes before deadline. So
Yeah.
don't talk to me about deadline, bro.
Well, then
You're
you
the
should be-
one.
You should be able to understand where I'm coming from then.
I do. I just like to give you crap.
Anyhow, if you can check it out, Windows 10 is free.
I mean, there's like,
Um,
yeah. I mean, like, I really, really want to see it. Like, I've been asking my boss, like, hey, when are we gonna update to Windows 10? He doesn't even know what the deal is with that. I was like, it's not my things. I mean, dude, there was so many like topics the last few weeks. I mean, did you hear about those engineers who found like a loophole, like the Mac software that you can like get like viruses and stuff in your computer now? Did you
Like-
see that?
I saw an article for it, but I did not read on what the exploit was.
Good job, Jeff.
I just read titles and I'm like, that's interesting, but
That's
I was
interesting.
I was
Move
like,
on.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, I'm on PC right now. I'm kind of my laptop's only dedicated to like very rudimentary things right now because it's just
Because, homie, you need to, get an SSD and get a new battery. It'll cost you $200.
that's $200 I could just put toward a new laptop.
And when are you gonna buy a new laptop?
A few years when I have a real job.
So
when the show starts paying off, all right.
it'll never happen.
Sponsors, guys. Oh yeah, one last thing. I think I mentioned it really briefly, but Windows 10 also has Cortana integration. So anytime,
right, the alien.
which yeah, part of me always hoped that it would be the the Halo Cortana talking to me and it'd like pop up 3D hologram, whatever. Not the case. But
I'm pretty sure, like my 40-year-old, like not 40-year-old, but like 40-year-old women would be like, "What the hell is that? What's that robot talking to me?"
Yeah,
I think it would freak out people.
It would be weird, and like there's some people are talking about like how Windows 10 has like certain privacy issues where anything you type into the search box, also does a web search, so it's being sent to like Microsoft, which it's not unusual for this to happen because Google, like Apple does the same thing when you're typing into stuff, like because it's also doing web searches too. But there's some people who are worried about like the privacy, like Windows 10, like anything you put on it, like you could see and stuff like that. But
since it is more vulnerable to like viruses and stuff.
Yeah, but it's also just because there's a few reasons for that. Just because PCs are much more efficient to manufacture attacks on because there's such a large audience.
Many.
But there's some EULA stuff that was like, oh, Windows 10 is gonna they're gonna look through all my shit on my drive and stuff. But it's actually not true at all. It just happened to be that because there's a lot of cloud-based stuff that's on it, they need to have access to certain things.
Yeah.
To be not as big of a deal.
And it's always that convenience versus privacy. It seems we always talk about it. Like it's always, it's like a balancing act in terms of your privacy versus what will be a really cool feature for your new laptop.
Yeah, and like I mean, for the most part, most people are pretty okay with giving up certain parts of their privacy.
People are very okay with it. They're so okay with it, they don't even read the user agreements.
They're so okay with it. They're using the features for years and they didn't even know it. So,
word.
So yeah, that's pretty much Windows 10 in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it in action and most other things. Like I really want to buy. Like this is gonna be a thing. I'm gonna buy a Windows 10 capable phone. Like if it's around $300, I really want to see it because I really want a Windows driver.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but I do.
Well, if they make them cool enough, back in the day, I had an iPod and I switched to the Zune. And the Zune was great for the time.
It's the dumbest thing you ever. I used to have an Olympus Emerald. It was red. It had like a white back, but then like red, like it's like M:road or robe, like a robe.
M-robe. I've never even heard.
Yeah, like it's an Olympus M:robe.
Olympus.
Hold on, you should put up your screen right now and do the search thing. Oh, it's us playing with our freaking thing now. Do your screen share.
Is it the
I don't know what it is.
MR
It's a screen. The green click.
Oh, is that the big ass screen on it? And like camera? Is that camera?
No. What? No. Okay, hold on. Let me do this.
Anyhow.
Hold on. Let me see if I can screen share my thing.
Actually, I think I can. Let me show you what I had. This is gonna suck for whoever's listening to audio. They're just like, what the fuck are they looking at?
Well, we can just trim this. Oh, you're gonna trim it. You can trim it.
I can trim it. Let me screen my share here. Screen my share. Here we go. So this is what I had.
Okay.
This was
that's cool.
It was actually, this was really slick. Like I actually really like this. I still have it somewhere here.
Really?
Yeah. I don't use it, but I have it. So let's stop that real quick. Oh, there we go. Did you figure it out?
No, it won't let me. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Safari check. Okay.
All right.
Let me see if it did it. Okay. Is it showing? Okay, so
I see a white screen and sometimes a black screen for you. If you can, you can just send me the link and I'll just stream it.
Hold on. No. I think I'm doing it.
There we go.
This was my device. Hold on. It was the Olympus M-Robe.
Ooh, kind of reminds me of
Yeah.
iRiver back in the day.
Nobody, like, I remember it was like back in the day with I think my friend Brianna used to have to order me things online because I didn't have a debit card. So I gave her money for this thing, and it was just like, it was cool. It was like, right? It's a pretty cool device. Like, it was one of those first times I actually thought about, oh, this product is designed pretty well, you know? It was really ugly software, like, on your computer because, like, all like the features like purple. It made no sense. But yeah, it's nuts.
Weird.
So yeah, that was my first. Like, that was before I got my iPod. You know, that was
and,
like
then we
$100.
never went back.
And yeah, and then I was just like Apple all the way after that.
Well,
so yeah, just cut that part.
So anyhow, so yeah, Windows 10. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and upgrade. It seems like for the most part, it's fine to upgrade to. It's totally capable. In fact, if anything, I've heard people that actually said it speed up their machines.
Really, that's awesome.
Which is great to hear. And yeah, I have a few question answer from a few people in chat.
Really? What?
To answer, yeah, I have a Q&A enabled on here, but they have.
I don't even see that like that.
There's two of them.
Oh,
answered questions. So Kevin Lee asks, where did I move to? And I moved to a town.
A town.
I moved to a town. It's near Walnut Creek. It's in the East Bay area. And why am I so sunburned? Which I didn't talk about. Yeah, I have crazy sunburn on my shoulder.
Really sunburned.
It's real bad. It was really terrible. I had to. I went to a town south of Lake Tahoe for a weekend, and I just didn't wear sunscreen. So lesson learned, guys.
God, I just always want to smack you.
Always wear sunscreen. Never not wear. This was really bad. Like, it feels fine now. Like, I can move my arm, but before I was like walking around like a dinosaur. Like, can't have anything touch my shoulders. Like, oh, it sucks. It was really awful. So, just gonna say. So anyhow, I think that's about it for this week. Is there anything else we want to mention for plug stuff? Are we good?
Well, I mean, like, usual plug stuff. If you guys want to, download us we're on iTunes. Jeff, did you ever get us on any other kind of podcasting?
Apparently, they showed up in other. I've asked people who had Android phones, and some people were actually able to find it. I don't know how that's possible. Yeah. Supposedly we were out on Stitcher, but I've been out for a while, so I need to put us up on Stitcher.
So check on that. We're on iTunes at Tech Laundry. Check out our website at techlaundrypodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter. I'm pretty sure there's a way to have our how you were playing with it. They were the names. We should have our Twitter handles on there.
Oh yeah, let me actually. We'll just do that right now. I'll just do the text. I'll just do type it in there. Actually, I should have done that. That would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
Boom, and then I'll just make it in this terrible Comic Sans font. Let me Roboto. There we go. Boop. There we go.
That's awesome.
Look at it. If you guys can't see it, it's really great. The fact that this follows me around. But it actually might be nice if I place it in the corner. Does it still follow? Oh, it still does follow. Huh. That's kind of weird. So you don't have an option. It has to motion track your face. You can't just put it in the background.
I don't know how to keep it on though.
Oh wait.
How do I keep it on?
Oh wait. Oh, I figured it out. There's a little switch at the top that changes it from motion tracking to.
Okay.
Static.
Okay. There it is.
Ooh.
Oh. There's just there's an @Jeff over there.
Yeah, why is just @Jeff?
And why is mine flipped? Oh, am I just viewing mine in a weird way?
Mine looks fine for me.
Okay, so you can see my name and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Google. So anyhow, that's all for this week's episode, guys.
Jeff, you need to do some serious editing.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, editing. Right. Yeah, about that whole thing.
You better do it. Because you're gonna sound like.
It's a long episode. It's almost an hour long.
Crap.
Good lord. So yeah, follow us at our Twitter handles. I'm at Jeffrey A. Barron.
And I'm at Tertius Buffette.
And until next week, guys, don't wear sunscreen. Yeah, wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen. And we're out. And I'm going to turn this thing off now.
Yeah, let me turn off my thing now.
Oh my god. I can't believe the thing didn't die during that. God, what if it didn't record? Jeff, what if we had to re-record everything?
Well, we have the live stream.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah. Let me move this to
2, 3. Okay, so it's there.
13.
Sweet. Okay, how many people were actually on the YouTube thing?
I saw like 3 max, at least.